Today's episode is brought to you by Grampian Graphics, Aberdeen's vehicle branding and wrapping specialists. If you want to turn your vehicle into a moving advert for your business, their expert team can design and install high-quality wraps that get your brand noticed everywhere you go. From single vans to fleets, Grampian Graphics creates bold, eye-catching designs that help businesses stand out on the road. A professionally wrapped vehicle works for you 24 hours a day, promoting your business wherever you drive. To see their latest work or get a quote, search Grampian Graphics on social media. Grampian Graphics, style that sticks.
This week on the Sheepfiddlers Podcast, we have Aberdeen news, a report from the USA, then it's part 3 of our season review. Jimmy Thelin is gone, Peter Leven is in the hot seat, and Aberdeen are looking for a fresh start. Can he steady the ship and turn things around? Let's find out. Welcome back to the Sheepfiddlers Podcast and part 3 of our season review. When we left things last time, the Jimmy Thelin era had come to an end, and the Dons were searching for a way forward. Peter Leven stepped in to steady the ship, restore some confidence, and try and salvage what was left of the season. This week, we will look at how the Dons responded to the change in the dugout and whether they could find some stability in a turbulent campaign. Before we get into that, let's speak about the latest news to come out of Pittodrie this week. So, first thing, Aberdeen have announced we'll play FC 20 in the Netherlands as part of our pre-season build-up, and this will be followed by a game versus Cove at Balmoral. So, I'm kind of hoping there's a couple more in there before we kick off the League Cup.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of an announcement when they said that there'll be a few more games in there, maybe some closed doors ones in there as well, which if you actually go back to our first pod review of the season with Thelin, we literally had 1 or maybe 2 pre-season games, and that was it.
Yeah, it was one friendly and 2 behind closed doors.
That's right, that's what it was. And then we're going to have that too, and then we've got more. I'm pretty sure it's more planned. I think we're going to have an 11 playing Fraserburgh as well.
Yeah, they've got that as well. The club's never announced that.
No.
Seems to be somebody on I don't know who. Somebody on Twitter seems to know about it.
I think it's for someone like a for a player or someone like a testing one type of thing. But it seems to be going to be a lot more games before even going into the League Cup games. So I think these players are going to be right up for it and fit, to be honest.
Yep, that's exactly what we need.
But I think it's good. Playing 20 in the Holland's a bit different as well.
Yeah,
nice.
They didn't announce where the actual training camp was, though, did they?
No, I would assume it's in Holland.
Yeah, I would assume that as well. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Per-Christian Bratveen has left the club after 6 months. This is a strange one to me, and I did actually tweet about it on Friday when it came out, because he signed a 2.5-year deal, but he's now left after 6 months. Some people are suggesting that he had a 6-month in his contract where he could break it, or the club could break it. So that's a possibility, but then a lot of people are saying as well that it was a Hornland signing, but with him not becoming manager, we've decided.
I don't know. In my head, I was surprised when you said about a 2.5-year deal, because I genuinely thought when he signed he was just at the end of the season.
No,
I didn't even know. That's the part there that surprised me more than actually him leaving, because I didn't know it was a 2.5 year. I genuinely thought he was only until the end of the season.
Yeah, I had a look back, and yeah, it was a 2.5-year deal that he signed.
It's even more mad. Yeah. Maybe you're right. Maybe there was a 6-month release.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just an Aberdeen version of Shankland. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
You can rip up his contract and go.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting.
I don't know. I think is Suman enough to be a challenge to meet off? That's the question that's out there, I suppose.
I suppose it depends what you're judging on. You're judging it on kicking, then yes. If you're judging it on shot stopping, which you really need your goalkeeper to be, then no.
I mean, I don't think that the guy Bradford did much wrong. I mean, he wasn't amazing. I'm not going to say he was.
No.
But there were some games I was like, oh, you actually look pretty decent, like on the with the ball.
Yeah.
Maybe not shot stopping, but like on the ball he was all right. But
yeah,
maybe it's the right thing. Maybe he just wasn't up to standard.
Yeah. So the Dons continue to be linked with Connor Ronan and Toyosi Olisanya. I guess we'll know more when the transfer window opens. It's this week.
Oh, it's this week it's open.
It's this week it opens, so hopefully we'll find out more about that.
Both players are good players. Olisanya did a job for us last year. I think there's been a lot of scrutiny online again. Why are we signing this type of player? But it's the same old people there complaining about the fact that we've signed players who've got Premier League experience. He's one of them as well.
Yeah.
He's got Premier League experience. He did a job for us. He scored a couple of goals. Yes, he missed some horrific chances, but he did a job.
Yeah.
And he fought. You could tell, actually, him and Nesbitt were getting a bit of a partnership as well.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
So I think it's the right signing. And this boy, Connor Ronan, I think will be an excellent signing. He's that person we don't have creativity-wise.
Yeah.
In the squad.
I'd agree with that.
So hopefully that's sooner rather than later, because it just keeps bumbling on.
Yeah.
I thought last week it was supposed to be this week the window opened, and I thought we would hear like announcements and just get done with it.
I'm sure it's this. I'm sure it's this week. Maybe tomorrow,
Monday or something. But could be wrong.
Yeah. See what happens.
Yeah, we could just get them signed, and that's that'll be 5 players in the door.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. We need to get our business done before we go to training camp of a court. Like, there's nothing wrong with signing players, towards the end of the window, but you want most of your business to be done so that they've all got a proper pre-season. You don't want to be signing players late in the window that they know they're not in a team's plans, so they're not really getting a proper pre-season. So I think we need to do our business sharpish.
Yeah, I think you're right in terms of him wanting to, cultivate a togetherness as a group. If he gets the players in before pre-season starts, like the key ones, then he can build that momentum and team ethic, and then start topping up with signings or people who are leaving, etc. I think you're right. If he can get the main part of his business done, which I think if he gets them two in, it's probably a lot of part of the foundations of a main part of the team done. So, hopefully sooner rather than later.
So a little bit of interesting league news, kind of just a little bit of filler, but it's been reported everywhere. And it was kind of the same with the Lauren Shanklin deal. Everyone seemed to report it, bar the 2 clubs that were involved. The former Aberdeen manager that once turned down the Rangers, Derek McInnes, is on his way to Ibrox.
Yeah, it's been massive report everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah, even Sky's reporting that it's a done deal.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me in any shape or form. I think he was going to be a Rangers manager at some point. But I do find it quite funny. I did read a tweet about how the fact that he did turn down when he was at Aberdeen, but as soon as he's got one sniff of it when he's been at Hearts, he's straight away. So are they actually that big a club?
Yeah, that is a great way of looking at it.
Because the big clubs keep the big managers.
Yeah.
Small clubs don't keep their big managers. Yeah. They go on to bigger things.
But what I find interesting about it is, yes, I think Rangers have obviously changed. They've got new ownership now, so they're not as much of a joke as the club as they were back then. But I still, if I was Derek, I would still be having serious doubts about going there. Like, they are churning through managers very, very quickly.
Yeah. But then you look at what he's done at clubs like Aberdeen Hearts. I think it just goes in the back of what I just said about us signing players who've got Premier League experience.
Yeah.
He's got all the experience in Scotland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rangers is his club, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yes. We all know deep down that's his club.
Yeah. And I suppose this time, I think part of the issue may have been who, Tony Dock was his assistant. Tony Dock's background.
Yeah,
I think that was an issue.
Yeah.
Look, I've even heard some Rangers fans claiming that he had gone as far as picking the team for that weekend for Rangers, and he before he knocked them back. I think that's wild. I don't think he would get that far.
No.
And then knock them back. But there was obviously something he didn't like under the bonnet at Rangers at that time.
I mean, possibly, yeah. But yeah, it's quite funny how Stuart Milne stepped down the week before, and then Derek McInnes has gone to Rangers. Seems to be a bit of a correlation of stories there. He's like,
okay, now tinfoil hats on there,
massively on there.
So, international news, Scotland kicked off their first World Cup in 28 years, beating Haiti 1-0.
Some result.
Great result.
Terrible game.
Terrible game of football.
But some result. Massive result. Yeah. Massive 3 points. Yeah. Amazing. Some amazing scenes on online. I'm well invested in one story, though. I don't know if you've seen the one story of the guy who stays across the road from an Airbnb, and there's like 4 or 5 Scottish guys. Also moved in, decorated with Scotland flags. Piper at 6:30 in the morning. He videoed it, and it's like literally went viral.
Yes.
And like, I'm total invested in the story because he's then tweeting about how in the morning he like made breakfast for the guys, got them over and stuff like that. And then there's like some other Scottish women now gave him a ticket for a game, so he's now going to the game against Morocco.
Oh, it's brilliant.
It's like so many people involved in it, and it's just he's obviously getting interviewed by like loads of people in America, like TV outlets. And all that. It's an incredible story. Yeah. It's like. There was the funniest part was on X when it was basically a picture of his barbecue with loads of sausage, and he basically said, "Oh, well, the Scottish guys love sausages," and then someone put a picture of a square sausage. They're all square, mate. Which I thought was brilliant, but yeah, huge result, a massive win, and we'll see what happens next, I suppose.
Yeah, I think when you get to a tournament, the results is what matters. I think big pressure on Scotland. How many times have we played teams that we should be beating at a World Cup, Costa Rica, Peru, and we've not turned up. That was a performance that didn't deserve a win, but who actually gives a fuck?
Yeah.
The most important thing is 3 points. With Morocco and Brazil drawing, I think the pressure will be on both of them when they play us that they have to win. Yeah. So then we can play with a little bit of freedom. Yeah. And if you offer me 2 draws right now, or even 1 draw out of those 2 games, I'd bite their hands off.
Yeah, I would agree. I think when you look at Morocco look a good team.
Yeah.
If anything, and this is going to be really controversial, I'd have said they're favourites for the group. Because what I've witnessed from Brazil, that's not a Brazil that we all know. No. Like, that is not at the same level of calibre of team.
No.
So, yeah, I think we may get stuffed by Morocco, but we could get somewhere in Brazil, I think.
Yeah, possibly. Now we have a report from Liam, who's taken some time out from chatting up North American sheep and taking in some of the football that the World Cup has to offer.
We report from Boston. It is fucking roasting out here, but according to the locals, that's completely unnormal. So they're struggling just as much as we are, but thank God every building has AC in it. Price of things is actually not too dissimilar to back home, so it's actually fine, apart from Fenway Park yesterday, where I've spent $71 on 5 can of Budweiser. But no, it's been brilliant out here. Every street you go down, you will find Scottish fans. It does get a little bit tedious at some points. We're not even staying in Boston, and we're not the only Scottish fans out here. We've completely taken over the coast of America. Watched the game in a Scottish pub owned by a boy from Stonehaven, serving haggis pies. So, never too far away from home, apparently. To be fair, the room we were in kind of a private room. I think we were the only actual football fans in there, because no one else was making any noise. You should have seen the look on people's faces when I called the referee a cunt right at the end of the game. They don't appreciate swearing and shouting at the telly, apparently. But, we won, so that's all that really matters. I don't think we had the best game ever. I thought some players did play okay. Doak obviously looked quite good. I thought Fargie did have a good game. It's just not the performance we were really hoping for, I think. But the main thing is in competition football is getting the job done, and we did that. Especially when you look at Switzerland earlier the same day, conceding late when trying to see it out. So it was good to see it out and get the 3 points. Just on to Morocco and Brazil, who, to be honest, did us both a favour by drawing. So maybe we can get something from this. We just hold back, get a draw, then should be through to the next round, and Never seen that before. Motherfucking boys.
When we left part 2, Jimmy Thelin had been sacked. The team wasn't playing as a unit. Instead, they looked like 11 individuals wearing the same shirt. With only the Scottish Cup left to play for and performances drifting, it felt as though Aberdeen were simply going to meander towards the end of the league campaign. So, let's start off with the transfer news from January. So the first bit of news, there was no new signings before our next game. Dorrington was recalled by Spurs and then sent out on loan to Salford. To be honest, at this point, it wasn't really a great loss, to be honest.
Hadn't played.
Yeah.
No, I think he was brought in. Our plan was probably to go with Milne and Noster as our 2 centre-backs. Dorrington's decent cover for that. We've switched then to 3 at the back, and Dorrington didn't get a goal. So the writing was on the wall. We weren't. He was gone.
Yeah. So Peter Leven's first game as caretaker was at Ibrox. Like a previous manager who took over as caretaker, who we shall not talk about. 2-0.
Also a fan of them.
Yes. Fucking horrible prick. Don's going down 2-0. More set-piece nightmares. Mitov comes for the first one. Trips himself up.
I think we're now at the point in the season where Al started to turn against Mitov.
Yeah. I think there was there not one? Yeah, so he comes for that one, trips over himself, makes a balls up of that. We have a really good chance. Bilalovic is played in by a long ball. But his first touch is okay. But he doesn't take into account his knee and he knees it back to Butland. Yeah.
Great defensive pass.
Great defense, yeah. Another set piece calamity. This is one where I think Mitov maybe could have come for it, but because he made a cunt of the one before, he doesn't come for it. And 4 foot tall Raskins unmarked. And he didn't even, the worst thing is, it's not that he's so short. He didn't even have to jump to score. Devlin was supposed to be marking him, but he lost him. It's just, again, there's no point pointing the finger at individual people. It's happening every week. Nisbet had a header well saved. And then from the resulting corner, Polvara should score with his header, but he doesn't. Carlson hesitated when played in by Clarkson, and the goal-bound shot gets blocked, but that's because he gets bodies back. Don's created chances, but just didn't take them and gave away cheap goals. Where have we heard that before this season?
I think that was one of the games as well with Clarkson. Hadn't played for a few games as well, and then allowing him back into the.
Yeah, I think if you were to look at
Come on.
like the starting 11s from all our games, the amount of changes is ridiculous.
Nah.
There'd be bits where, say, Palaversa would get 2 starts in a row, then he's on the bench for the next 3 weeks. Then you don't even see him on the bench anymore. The same could be said for Clarkson, Polvara. There's other players in there as well. We didn't use our squad well enough. Stuck with players who weren't winning games to try and change our fortunes around.
Yeah, agreed. So this was a double header as Rangers headed up to Pittodrie. Same scoreline. 3 points to Rangers.
Yeah. I mean,
Different venue, same game.
Well, exactly. I mean, it's playing like a home and away tie in 1 week, innit?
Apart from this one was more at home with a penalty to the Rangers, was it?
Well, yeah.
Well, I've just seen the name David Dickinson. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I mean, set pieces again wasn't a clear bloody issue. That's pretty normal. I think our season's going that way. Short corner played in. Asgard volleys home from about 8 yards. Just shouldn't be happening, really. Rangers thought they were 2 up with a free kick, found Fernandez, but his arm impeded Mitov. Surprisingly, Mitov even came for the ball.
Which again was soft.
That was all. I don't think that should have been ruled.
Yeah, real that would be hard, but yeah, I think it was pretty soft.
Take it, but
Yeah. The Rangers, wrapped up the points with a pen. was a pen that David Dickinson had to see twice, which, again, very surprising because he's such a great referee.
No, he'd seen it twice.
I know, but he's such a great referee.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to hear me? I'll say it. Such a great referee. That's twice. Against the Rangers. I'm not giving up by the time he pointed out to the spot. The Dons didn't really create enough to get anything from the game. And when you can't defend set pieces, you're not going to win games. So, yeah, 2-0 Rangers. We were terrible, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're in the game.
Yeah. Not much to say about it.
Poor game.
Poor
Really
game.
poor.
Yeah.
2 really bad results in a week against Rangers as
Yeah.
well.
So, yeah. Transfer news after that game. So, Lyle came in on loan from Rangers. Interesting signing, shall we say?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we tried to get him on a pre-contract about a year before then, and he chose them lot. I understand why we went from season was going to shit and we needed something familiar to the league. I don't know. I understand why we did it. We'll get to it by the end of the transfer window, but I don't think I've ever been as sad over a transfer window as I was this January.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think at the time, there was a lot of people, he made his debut against Wraith Rovers. There was a lot of people booed him. I've never heard.
I didn't like that at all.
I didn't like that at all. He chose Rangers at the time, probably because he was getting offered more money. And I think for someone who doesn't have, he's a Dundee boy.
Yeah.
He's seen,
doesn't mean anything.
No. So I think anyone in that situation probably would have done the same thing. And I get the no more old firm loans. I kind of get that.
Mm-hmm.
But actually booing an individual player.
That's the part. Like you can be against the club doing that, bringing in old firm players. I would actually back that. But to boo the individual who has come to help your club, that is disgraceful.
I totally agree. One transfer out. So Esther Sockler made his move permanent. So
he made our feelings clear on that one.
Yeah, we won't get to see him again. So that's unfortunate. So our Scottish Cup defence started on the 18th of January. A 1-0 home win against Wraith Rovers.
I get to talk about a win finally.
Liam, you want to take this one?
You want to take it away?
I guess who scored?
Don't take it away from me. As Corey mentioned, our first game in defence of the Scottish Cup at home to Raith. And, lots of action to come. An early Cameron corner is met by Polvara, and his flick is somehow gone at the back of the net off of Jack Milne, and I don't even think he knew.
Pure quality.
It's the calamitous up the other end for a change. Even he is clueless as to how that went in off at him. So it was the only goal of the game. Wraith had chances, Dons had chances, but nobody was panicking. Everything was shite. It was a shite game. Just shite. And was shite. Later on in the game, Carlson has shown why he was at the Dons, because he had 2 chances that a player of what we've seen this season of his quality should have scored, but didn't score. And his attitude was shite. So an overall shite game, shite performance, but I would say 3 points and up the road, but this time through the next round. And that's it.
And up the road.
Yeah, and then up the road.
Yeah, I think the most important thing in cup football is just getting through. Yeah, some of the problems were showing through, and a better team would have caused us more problems. But the most important thing in cup football is just being in the hat for the next round.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move on.
Yeah. So thanks for letting me have that win. I would prefer the next one that's coming.
Yeah, so Aberdeen did a little bit of business after the Wraith Rovers game. So Liam Morrison came in on loan from QPR. Bratveen came in from Strom's Godset, a goalkeeper to help out there, and Toyosi Olasanya from Houston Dynamo on loan until the end of the season. Interesting signing, shall we say? Obviously,
Yeah.
Liam Morrison was on Bayern Munich's books, so a little bit of pedigree there. But yeah, from QPR to us, is his career going in the wrong direction? There's one way to look at it.
I think, yeah, you definitely can look at that. For me, the frustrating thing is we knew from, October, we needed more defenders.
That's not because Tobers is
I
an
forgot about
invisible man, isn't he?
Yeah.
But it's taken 20 games of the January transfer window to sign a defender.
Yeah.
I don't know who makes the decisions, but someone at the top who decides when and who we sign didn't do well enough this season, and January was particularly bad.
Yeah. I think, signing Bradvin, even without knowing much about him, and, at the time I thought it was a good thing to do, because obviously Mitrov's mistakes were coming a bit thick and fast. He needed someone who was going to. We didn't even need a goalkeeper really who was going to play. We needed a goalkeeper with the potential to play, to put a bit of pressure on him that if you fuck up again, we've got someone waiting to take your place.
Yeah.
Just putting that little bit of pressure on him definitely was needed at this point.
I think Olasanya one. I'm going to talk about this in the time that we're in here.
That's why we're here.
Not based on the end of the season, because I'm a different view. But when you think about Olasanya signing and the fact that we finally scored any goals this season, it's not really a great signing, is it? You just put it down on paper. You want someone to come. If we're not scoring goals, let's sign a striker who scores. Oh, wait a minute. We'll sign a striker who doesn't score goals.
Yeah. Well, I do remember seeing a St Mirren fan saying, why on earth have they signed him? He only played well against that long.
Yeah. But at the same time, we weren't scoring goals. It kind of goes for all players. If you're signing a player in January, I'm sorry, you're not signing a player in January who's doing well.
Yeah, I get that.
It is going to be bargain basement. You're hoping,
or they're doing well at a lower level than us.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why our recruitment team changed as a part of the season.
Yeah.
Because the August transfer window and then the January transfer window were not good enough.
No, they weren't good.
There weren't good enough players coming in. In respect of,
they all had potential to be very good players, but they were all
a lot of them hadn't played for 6 months.
Yeah,
as well.
Yeah,
Morrison was one of them, wasn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. So on the 24th, we welcomed Livingston to Pittodrie, and this is the most bonkers game of the season. I think 6-2. The Dons ran out winners.
Yeah, the Peter Leven era is finally starting. Yeah, just a game to give us a little bit of excitement. Think that we've actually fucking screwed the Heat. Might see it out for the rest of the season. But even within that game, look at it from the result, 6-2. Looks like we absolutely battered them, but we went behind. Well, we went ahead at first. We ended up 2-1 down, which to a Livy side is utterly unacceptable. At Pittodrie, yeah, and I'm pretty sure the goals were soft as anything.
Yeah,
I'm saying couldn't defend set pieces again. So you know exactly what we did. But then second half, end of the first half into the second half, we turned it on. We started seeing what we hadn't seen for the entirety of the season. The one thing we'd been screaming for the entirety of the season, our wide players ran down the line and played balls into the box. We scored 6 times and never did it again.
I think what's important about the 2 that we scored in the first half was it was obviously right in front of where we sit in Pittodrie. The ball comes, Mitchell Frame plays the ball from pretty much the same area to the same blades of glass twice, and who's standing there waiting for it? Kevin Nisbet.
So.
You know, the ball was played to where Kevin Nisbet wants the ball. Do you know, like, the easiest place to score for a goal from is inside the fucking box, and
in the middle of
the goal.
Yeah,
we did it twice, and
there's a very easy way to play with Kevin Nisbet as your striker.
Yeah,
give him the ball in the middle of the box.
Yeah,
as many times as you can.
Yep, and that game frame came in and showed why we signed him in the first place.
But like
Why we didn't buy him?
Of first team quality
Yeah.
that we've not been playing.
But going back to what Liam said, when we first spoke about Mitchell Frame, he didn't get all the game time needed to prove himself. This was him then. He would have been the same at the start of the season.
Yeah.
So why didn't he get the chance to play
exactly.
then? Because he played in a few development games in the Aberdeenshire Cup or whatever it was, and supposedly he was immense in those. So
why is he not getting the goal? If someone is standout amongst the children who they're not that far off of Premiership level, because the amount that come through and they're already at that level means that they're not that far off. So if he's standing out as wow, this guy's good, put him in the first, especially when we don't have a left back because the other one's fucking injured. Just insanity.
Yeah. And then we obviously get the bizarrest of bizarre to talk about. So Martindale said something, don't know what was said, and he's sent off. So he's sent to the stand, and then something happens down below us. Bukala has got his hand round Milne's throat. They kind of jostle a little bit. It's broken up, and then 2 red cards are shown. I've watched this back a few times. I don't know what Milne does.
Yeah, same. I don't understand what he does either.
I think Bukala deserves to be sent off because his arm's going
The two of
down.
them, obviously, will never know what they're saying to each other, but they're quite clearly having a go at each other.
Yeah.
Bakila reacts and effectively hits him.
Yeah.
He should be sent off.
Yeah.
You maybe have a word. If it was no more, it was just the words, you have a word with them both. But he's the one that's reacted. You can't punish them both to the same level. That's outrageous.
And then to show as well, the referee had no control of the game. Graham Shinney's trying to get an explanation to why Milne has been sent off, and he gets booked, and Shinney's screaming in his face, "I'm the fucking captain."
It's one of the best reacts I've ever seen. Grabbing the arm over here, fighting it. The fucking captain!
And the referee just, really, really bad. And
there's a reason why when we do this podcast, we have a whole fucking segment just to moan about referees. Because this happens every single week in this country.
No, it's not to moan about the refs. It's just no. Yeah.
No, it is.
It's just identify their incompetence as referees.
Yeah.
No consistency, no competency.
Yeah.
Just shite.
It's a job description.
Yeah.
That's what you would need to be.
And so
watch that.
No experience required.
Scottish VAR kind of replay thing with Willie Collum and the other boy. Oh my god, that is just insane.
Yeah, always disagree with him is the problem.
Yeah. And then obviously after the game, Davy Martindale said in his interview that Carla had been racially abused by Jack Milne.
It's not proven.
There's more to it though, because I've got a lad in there, a 35-year-old man.
Yeah.
He's been racially abused. He's crying. You won't tell me what was said. From the get-go, it just felt off. But I always remember I didn't want to be one of those people who just went, because I didn't like the outcome, because I didn't like the thought of my player doing something like that. Didn't want to just dismiss it. But
this is all
this far, it's been not proven, and he has fucking history of doing this.
He's got a history of it.
Not enough has been made of that. That could have ruined a young man's career.
Yeah.
You look at Jack Milne for the second half of the season. Was that playing on his mind?
The 35-year-old man who cried wolf.
Yeah. You know, you think
sign him.
Yeah, well, you think he was a Celtic player with the amount of victimisation he came out with, so. Anyway, transfer news. So we signed Aramu from Kaiserslautern. Didn't know much about him.
No.
We just knew he hadn't played much football.
We just knew we needed another African prince since we were the one in the start.
Exactly. And
Prince of Peace.
You know, at the time we didn't know anything about him, but 6 months later, I think we can say we've got our Africans prince again.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. Out. A really, really sad one, this one.
Yeah.
Dante Polvara headed back to the States and signed for St. Louis City.
I would say similar to my moan about Sockler. This one upset me a whole lot more.
Yeah.
He was my favourite player.
Yeah.
We didn't use him enough, and
Can't blame him for wanting to go back home.
No.
He obviously loved his time at the club. He was an Aberdeen boy by the end of that.
Yeah.
You have to play that guy as many times as you possibly can.
I don't.
He didn't.
No, I don't understand as well. We spoke right back at the start of this review with the news that Shinnie was leaving. Why are we not giving him the armband and building a team around him?
You could tell he wanted to be
Mr. Aberdeen.
Yeah, he absolutely wanted to be. But yeah, if you're sitting on the bench majority of the time, you're not from here. Your girlfriend's not from here.
Yeah,
of course you went back home.
Exactly. Really sad.
Is he picked in a squad for the US? No.
I doubt it.
So on the 31st, we made another trip down to Rugby Park. 3-0 defeat.
Wasn't talking about
It's fine though. An Aberdeen player scored.
Yeah.
Two Aberdeen players.
Yeah, former Aberdeen player and a
Former and future.
Yeah. We were honking from start to finish.
Fucking horrendous in this game.
Yeah. I think awful.
I think we were really poor, and then the red card, and then we were even worse.
Monsters got injured in this game as well.
Yeah.
That was it. That was this game.
Yeah.
This is the game.
Yeah.
When it's got taken
So
off.
Yeah.
Nothing given.
he played up until the 31st of January and was player of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tells you everything you need
Yes.
to know.
Our season could have been out.
This was
We complained about him once on this. We said he maybe should have done better off a shot.
There was one.
I don't think he's been criticised.
No.
There was one European game, I think. Did he not? Him and Milne kind of fucked up together.
Yeah,
There was that one game.
There was one game where he came out to a ball and missed
Yeah.
it.
But he's human.
Yeah, exactly.
In a fucking season, he once came out and didn't stop a cross.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Compared to the calamity of everybody else.
Yeah. I think as bad as the players were on the pitch, Leven did show his inexperience. Shinnie had been booked, and I think the whole stadium knew he was one foul away from being sent off. And Shinnie was sent off pretty quick in the second half. Yes, it was a straight red. The referee was sent to the monitor.
I had to give a second yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He stuck with the red.
He stuck with the red.
It was a red.
Yeah. It was pointless. But yeah, he should have been subbed at half time.
I mean, that game was horrific.
Yeah. Awful.
Like, it was horrendous. To be at that game was horrendous.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just move on.
I think it gets better afterwards.
Yeah, gets so much better. Transfer news. So this was the final part of the transfer window. In came Dennis Geiger from Hoffenheim. This, I think, was obviously out of Lutz's book of contacts. Because when you hear what kind of money the guy was on, you shouldn't be signing a player earning that amount of money. And Tom McIntyre came in from Portsmouth, another player who hadn't really played that much football. But we needed centre-half cover after what had happened a couple of days prior. Out went Leighton Clarkson and signed for Blackpool.
Almost as depressing as the Polvara one. You could probably say the exact same thing as I said for Polvara. Didn't use him enough.
Yeah.
We replaced him with Sheesh when we shouldn't have. We should have backed him. Also, actually forgetting that Carlson and Sheesh left us during that transfer window.
Yeah, that's right.
Which it almost improved us, weirdly. Two quality players like that, but actually, when you look at the impact they had on the squad through the season, I think they were more of a detriment than they were a positive.
A level
by the fact that they stopped players getting a game.
Toxicity as well. Not just that, but they're stopping players getting a game, but the shite that they performed during the game, the little flicks and tricks that were not required and unneeded, frustrating other players.
Yeah.
Pass the ball instead of pricking about with the ball, or don't pass the ball when you should be making that. You know what I mean? So
they were okay. Yeah, Ashish has done well at Schalke since leaving us, and Carlson obviously proved before us that he's a very good player. They both very much felt they were better than the league they were in. But realistically, when you're down the bottom end of that league and you've been playing most of the games, you're not better than this league.
There's no fight for them.
No.
Clarkson was sad to see, but as you say, sad to see for Polvara.
You can't blame him for getting out anymore.
No. I think he obviously had a wee one not long before that, so moving closer back to family again, I think it makes sense. And you're not playing for the club that you're actually in the city of, then you may as well go back to where your family is. So, like,
Thankfully, these players are leaving us with a Scottish Cup winners medal.
Yes. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Aye, both of them.
Yes.
Yeah. So, 15th of February, we travelled to Fir Park, beaten 2-0.
where do we want to go with this?
Yeah.
You know,
Just signed a player.
well, yeah. I mean, the Dons were better in the game to a certain extent, and we should have taken the lead. We were also weren't helped by a VAR decision. There was a handball that stopped the Dons from clearing. The VAR didn't get involved, and the boy just from New Zealand scored in the next phase of play. That game there, we were all going mental. I just don't understand how that wasn't given.
Yeah.
I understand the reasoning of it's another phase of play, but
Totally.
they don't get that phase of play without the handball.
Exactly.
The ball's up the other end of the park.
Totally agree.
That should have just the referee should have fucking seen it and just given it.
Yep.
And that's the end of that. It was an easy decision.
Yeah, I totally agree. Other than that, Motherwell obviously finished the game. Stopped signing with an own goal from the big new signing of McIntyre. Make it 2-0 for them. Don't have chances in the game, but again, same as all the season, didn't take them. And that's it's been the problem child the whole part of the season, to be honest.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, this was obviously one of the games where we were doing TikTok lives.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which was fucking painful to do.
Yeah, we started at Kilmarnock and we did it there as well.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fantastic games to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking awful.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think that was the game, or it was maybe the Kelly game when we were leaving, and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna film a wee video here," and I wasn't listening. And then I hear him go like, "Oh, what a shambles of a game!" So I turn around to answer him, and he's like, "You fucking arse!" Oh, I recorded a video.
Yeah, the Kilmarnock game, that's where I started doing the post-match videos, and yeah, it's good fun. It's what Georgie wanted me to do, so I do it. Anyway, went to another Scottish Cup game, in our defence of the League Cup.
The real cup.
The real cup, yeah. Exactly the same score as the week before. The home team went in 2-0, so we progressed with a 2-0 win.
Yeah, another Scottish Cup game, another one to talk about.
Another win to talk about.
Yes. So, send it off inside the first couple of minutes definitely helped us in the game. It did seem a bit harsh, to be honest. The player did slip, and was Cameron actually getting to the ball?
No, he stopped his run.
Yeah.
Had VAR looked a little bit closer, maybe would have seen that, but
We'll take it.
I'll definitely take it.
We'd be screaming if it was
It's one of those
against us,
ones I don't think you want to see players getting sent off for that unless
No.
we're playing against them.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
He didn't mean it at all.
Yeah.
And then, brilliant free kick from Nisbet to put us 1-0 up inside 4 minutes. And then, we're down to 10 men ourselves when Geiger is sent off after yet again another VAR intervention. He does catch the Motherwell player high, but he was attempting to play the ball. Maliciousness wasn't there. But as always in today's game, it is a red card.
At the time, I remember thinking I thought he had pulled out of it, but then when I saw it on the replay, I said, "Okay, yeah, that's just a red card."
So Motherwell go down to 9 men after Olasanya winning the ball back, and is brought down when he's about to shoot. No, okay.
He's about to run from the halfway line.
Yeah, he was, sorry. He was about to run from the halfway line. Sorry, that's right. And then
I think there is an argument to say that there was defenders who could have got back, but I think when you take the cynicalness of what the Motherwell player does,
for me, that was the biggest red card of the three.
Yeah, because
they were. It was Paul McGinn and Stephen O'Donnell. They weren't.
They weren't going to cut. You can argue there is an argument, but the fact that the player's on the ground and he kicks him, he does kick him to trip him.
I think
it's
that was
deliberate.
One. It's clear.
Yeah,
he was last man. It's stupid. I think when you do something stupid, you do kind of deserve the red card.
Yeah.
It might not be a vicious tackle or anything like that, but like, why have you done that? You've given the referee a chance to send you off there, so
No,
off you
no
fucking
attempt
go.
to play the ball
No,
that far out. Silly.
catch you.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Even if there is somebody that might have, well, really anybody's catching offside, to be honest.
Nah.
And then, just to wrap it up, Shinnie had an amazing strike from the edge of the box. What a finish. Goal of the season, I would have said.
A few kisses of the badges, so you knew he was signing a contract.
Yeah. But again, Mr. Aberdeen just showing his passion after getting that goal, clinching it. Yeah, got the win. Next round of the Scottish Cup.
Can't complain with that.
No. So, yeah. It wasn't pretty, but a win's a win. On the 21st, we hosted Dundee. 3-2 win for the visiting side. Bizarre.
Yeah. Follow up our Scottish Cup victory. 3 days later, we lose for the first time in 20 years at home to Dundee. I think, so it started quite well. Olasanya looks like he's got his first goal for Aberdeen, but actually the ball was already over the line from Nisbet's shot before he managed to get a touch on it. 1-0 to us, and the game changes with a long ball over the top. Morrison running backwards, looking at the ball above him. Dundee boy steps across him, and it's given as contact one inside the box and denial of a goal scoring opportunity. So off he goes, penalty to Dundee. Simon Murray makes it 1-1. And then we can't even see it out till half time. Again, calamitous and laughable defending and goalkeeping on top of it. I think it was a ball across. Simon Murray tries to control it. He tries to swing his body and volley it, but actually plays it sideways across goal. They still hold on to possession because none of us are doing anything. What's his name? Congreve has a shot from the edge of the box. It bounces. Keeper looks shit. Ball goes in. I think Brathwaite was playing that game and didn't cover himself in glory. Absolute shambles right on half time. Then second half, I feel like we did manage to try and claw ourselves back into contention a little bit with the way the game was going. And then Nisbet scored an absolute fucking peach of a free kick right into the top corner 3 days after obviously scoring another free kick as well. But the game was won by probably the best goal at Pittodrie this season. Absolutely
Goal of the season.
insane.
Unbelievable goal.
It was a genuine blink and you missed it. He hit it so fucking hard.
Yeah. Right at top bag as well.
Yeah. You could see the shot coming. He wound it up for about half an hour. Could have done with the player blocking it, but
Good defending that we
you
did.
do sometimes have to hold your hand up to just pure quality.
I think the game does hinge on, obviously, the penalty and the red card. It's an instant where common sense doesn't prevail there.
If that's a penalty, is it not a yellow?
Yeah. It didn't have to. If it's inside the box, it's fine. We've got no issue with that. But it didn't have to be a red card as well. It's why double J. It's not like he deliberately fouled him.
No.
And by pulling him down. Yes, he doesn't make an attempt to win the ball, but the player kind of jumps into him.
And he doesn't see the player.
Yeah.
Not even looking at the player.
He doesn't make an attempt to take the player out.
Yeah.
So
It's a foul. It's 100% a foul.
yeah, I'm not convinced it is in the box. But okay.
Yeah.
I feel if you're given the penalty, you can't send them off as well.
Exactly. Agreed. Yeah. 3 days later, we headed to Tannadice. A 0-0 draw. Shite game. It was like playing on a beach. Nisbet should have scored, poking the ball wide when faced with an empty net. Jack Mullen had a header from a corner. It comes off a United hand on the line. I think everyone there expected a penalty and maybe a red card as well. But
specifically remember watching that game. I was not happy because we were playing shite, and then that happened, and I jumped up and I was like, penalty, red card, and nothing was given.
No. It's a bizarre one. Handball on the edge of the box. Referee gives nothing. So VAR can check for a penalty outside the box. So it's instead have the dangerous free kick that we should have had. We got a throw in. More again.
So it's a logistical nightmare, that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How the fuck did they get to that?
It's all right with Super Jack Milner and throw-ins at that point.
So,
It shows how bad a game that was.
that was a terrible game.
I remember those incidents.
Yeah.
And I remember as well thinking, it's now starting to push 2 months. The club aren't saying what's happening with the manager.
Yeah.
And getting really frustrated that we're not doing anything to get another manager in. And I think maybe it was a couple more before I started bringing up the videos, but I did feel our performances were showing we were just trying to get out of this season.
Yeah, at that point as well, there was nothing from the board, really.
No.
There was rumours about Horneland, the fucking all this stuff. There was all rumours and rumours and rumours, but there was nothing concrete coming out from the club.
Yeah, that was round about the Horneland, because you had Horneland at that point.
Yeah.
That he was here. He was at Pataudry.
Yeah, he was over for an interview. He was in the building.
He was in the building,
and
he had to go home.
His mum phoned him and told him to come home.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Splash up tea time. Well,
yeah.
Time for a bath.
Mince and tatties.
Yeah. And then 4 days later, we headed to Edinburgh to go to title challengers Hearts. And as Liam pointed out in the previous podcast, the home team won 1-0.
Yeah, well, it went probably exactly as we all expected. And it should have been more than 1-0, to be honest. Hearts were top of the league on this, so we again painfully gave a cheap goal away. Kabori skips over Morrison, sliding in, and basically has only Braga in the middle to aim for neither Milne or Devlin. Again, there seems to be a very compelling argument. Both make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah, I've got to say, we're looking back over this. Those two in combination are coming up quite a bit, aren't they?
They are, aren't they? So now you can see why I'm arguing about fucking Milne all the time.
Yeah, anyway. I still love them both.
Well, Milne and Devlin don't really take responsibility. Leaving with loads of space. And for a player who has been probably one of the parts, actually those parts best player in the season, really.
Yep.
8 yards out, 1-0. Simple as that. It was too easy. And if anything, I think it was probably more Devlin's fault than Milne's fault, actually, because Devlin can see.
Yeah,
he can see the play.
Across.
He can see the play. A lot of people actually at this point were blaming Morrison for the sliding in, but actually he's trying to challenge it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of Dons fans at that point getting on Morrison's back saying he was poor. The guy hardly played a game all season for QPR.
I think
came into us with limited game time as well.
Some of our fans were a bit too quick to turn off.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I think in that incident, if he didn't make an attempt to stop the cross or take out the player, people will be on him because he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Why have you not tried to stop the cross?
Yeah.
That showed that Malloy was the one who got caught too far up the pitch. He's done his best.
Yeah.
Yes, it's one of those comical ones, but
yeah, it is one start to finish of their move. We were just poor.
Yeah, I mean, that whole game, though, we didn't really do anything. Didn't really threaten them, to be honest. If anything, made Hearts look better than they were. I mean, Hearts were obviously top league, I get that, but they weren't, blowing teams away.
No, never.
Etc.
No.
So, yeah, poor game, poor result.
Yeah. So we moved on to Celtic on my birthday. We had another manager in the building at this point because David done one of his interviews that went out on YouTube and said that Schwarzer would be here to watch the Celtic game. That went really well. So Celtic went back down the road with 3 points after a 2-1 victory.
Right, well, for this one, this was Elastic Band Gate, and if you remember rightly, it was also our first podcast. It was after this game.
Yep. But
Yeah, just applause you there. What the fuck is wrong with us? Why did we start doing a podcast off the back of that run of games?
Because
It was your idea.
yeah.
Mine?
Yes.
Was it?
It was all your idea.
This is all. I'd been thinking about it, and after the Niall McGinn,
Johnny Hayes,
Adam Rooney, we
yeah.
were talking about the TikTok, and you said, what we should do? We should do a podcast. And then I said, I've been thinking about that. Let me do some research.
Shouldn't speak to me when I was blackout drunk. Like, shit like this starts happening.
So yeah, it was a fairly typical game between ourselves and the Tims. We found, we fought hard, but it just wasn't good enough. And it just wasn't good enough to get a result at all. A pathetic first goal from a corner, believe it or not, yet again. And our ex-dandy, or one lone dandy, Scales, was able to flick it on to Tierney, who just volleyed it in. Both players were unmarked. Unmarked for the flick on from Scales, and Tierney was just in open space to put it in. So, yeah, calamitous. I think we've used that word about 16 times so far.
And all 11 players inside our own box.
And all 11 players inside the box, which you've noted on about 73 occasions.
I think a lot of this podcast is copy and paste.
Well, that was our entire fucking season.
I think the next game, calamitous. However, a bit of positive news. Olasanya wins a pen and Nisbet slots it away. Olasanya, we've mentioned, he's very effective at bringing in trouble, and that's just exactly what we needed. Into the second half, and Celtic are just moving the ball from one side to the other. We are looking like rabbits in the headlights. The ball gets put across the face of the goal and is tapped in by Nygren. Now, this is one of those that, it was like the offside lines were drawn by elastic bands, because it did look like he was offside. VAR couldn't have put two lines together. It was deemed to be onside, goal given, 2-1. Could we do much after that? No. And we didn't show anything either. But again, VAR at its best.
Yeah.
I think that was an important result for Celtic as well.
Yeah.
From our points perspective, close to heart. So, yeah, then getting the last bands out and getting the second goal was suited down perfectly fine.
So I remember thinking Celtic weren't that great that night. They were really poor.
They weren't.
Yeah.
They were there for the taking.
Yeah.
We just couldn't do it.
Yeah. And then it's up there. This next game, it's probably the worst result. I think Athens was the worst performance, but this was the worst result of the season. We lost our grip on the Scottish Cup on the 7th of March in the Kingdom of Fife.
To the eventual finalists.
Yeah.
Helped them get there.
Yeah. Neil Lennon's Dunfermline run out 3-0 winners. This was... Yeah, take it away, Liam.
I went to the land of the webbed feet and came back scales. No, I thought it was absolutely horrendous. I think it could be a worse result / performance than the Darvel game. Obviously, the Darvel one, like playing against a non-league side and losing 1-0, but in that game we had an offside goal ruled out. Like, it was only 1-0. Like, we weren't outplayed. This game we were outplayed by the side fourth in the league below us. For an Aberdeen side, completely unacceptable. I think we had one chance before going a goal down, and then from going a goal down, their heads went up, ours went down, and that was it. 3-0, if anything, flattered us by the end of it. We were absolutely horrific.
Yeah, the players from a mentality perspective just didn't look like even wanted to be there.
No.
There was no fight, no character, nothing in that game.
Nothing at all.
Dunfermline's 3-0 could have been more.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I don't think anyone would have argued that because they were good.
Well, I remember, like, during the game and afterwards, kind of like, there was no one stood out for Dunfermline. It's like, oh, keep an eye on him. He's gonna come up to the top player. There was none of that. They're okay football players, and they absolutely destroyed us.
Yeah, agreed.
Was it not Thomas's first and second goal for Dunfermline?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So we'd seen Willie Miller before the game outside the stadium, and
Even he seemed a little bit.
yes, Yeah,
unsure.
yeah. Hopeful, but very unsure. And yeah, it was
That should never, heading to East End Park, should never even come into the mind that we might not win this game.
no.
Definitely not losing it 3-0.
No, indeed.
And there was some questionable defending again. Not calamitous this time,
No,
but
just
questionable.
shite.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I can't remember all the goals exactly. This is a game I didn't want to watch the highlights of back, so I did.
Well, there was one that was like a cross.
There was one
Came
that
over
crossed
the back
from one
post.
side.
Dylan Loban couldn't quite
It wasn't
deal with it.
defended on either side.
No.
Yeah, he couldn't make up his mind either way. Then fell to Todd, who just smashed it in.
Yeah.
And I think Thomas's first one, the ball was just played through. He ran onto it and in. The third one was definitely,
second time.
yeah. Third one was just through, beat the offside trap. And I think it went off post and in.
Because the second goal was like he was 3 on goal. He kind of had keeper saved.
And
Yeah,
it
and it came
Bounced off it. It was like so
Yeah,
close.
yeah,
And then trickled down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But his third goal, his second goal was actually a good goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like just yeah.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end of the Peter Leven chapter. What started as a caretaker appointment quickly became a rescue mission. There were flashes of improvement. The 6-2 against Livingston, the Scottish Cup win over Motherwell, the emergence of players like Geiger, Olasanya, and moments where it felt like Aberdeen might finally be turning the corner. But every time there was a step forward, there seemed to be 2 steps back. The biggest frustration was that the same problems kept appearing: set pieces, individual mistakes, lack of leadership in key moments, poor decision making, and inability to take chances that were when they mattered the most. It doesn't matter who was in charge. Aberdeen seemed trapped in the same cycle. And then came Dunfermline, a result and a performance that felt like the final straw. Not because we lost a cup tie, that can happen, but because of how we lost it. Outfought, outplayed, and looking completely devoid of confidence. That was the moment it became obvious that something had to change. So, before we move on to the Stephen Robinson in part 4, let's stop and ask ourselves a few questions. Was Jimmy Thelin sacking the right decision, or were there bigger problems than the manager?
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everything covered. Yeah. I think it was right to get rid of him.
We covered it earlier with the timing of Jimmy. If anything, it was too late.
Yeah.
It had to happen, but that doesn't mean that there aren't issues above that. Probably bigger issues than whoever the manager is, but he had to go.
Yeah. I think the only thing I caveat with, he had to go, but the way the club had no fucking plan whatsoever. It was an absolute shambles.
Yeah, it is a joke. Because
But-
we'd heard the week before he was sacked
Yeah.
that Lutz had picked his replacement already.
Yeah.
What the fuck happens?
But it's definitely bigger. There was, from the fact that, from a bigger problem perspective, the players were the problem, not just the money.
The recruitment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Recruitment was
Players
a
we
big
brought
one.
in years ago is when this started.
Yeah.
Not the start of last season.
Mentality.
But I think the biggest problem was, I do agree it was the right decision for Jimmy to go, but to put Peter Leven in charge and be completely rudderless.
Yeah.
We were trying to just get to the summer, but everyone knows you can't do that in Scottish football.
Yeah.
It changes so fucking quickly. And once you've lost that momentum, that's what
I
happens.
mean, it's not just us. Like, look at so many clubs in the league. Well, just this season,
Yeah,
Dundee
still.
they started the season terribly.
Yeah.
We thought Presley was going to be gone before Christmas, and then they ended it amazingly, finished above us.
Yeah.
St Mirren start the season really well, win a fucking cup, nearly go down.
Yeah.
Celtic all over the place, Rangers all over the place. The only consistent team was Hearts.
Yeah.
And it's still
Well,
They were all right.
Yeah.
Apart from when they came to the
Like, I do remember leaving East End Park and making a video, and I was genuinely scared we were going to get relegated.
Yes.
Because not only was I scared that teams in our league could do that to us, but there was the potential we were going to play them in the playoff.
Yeah.
And could we find 2 performances at that moment to get out of it? I just didn't see where it was coming from.
Not especially not after his interview that Dunfermline game.
Yeah.
He looked like he was defeated.
Yeah.
So did Shinny. The 2 of them. Oh yeah, Shinny as well. Shinny was so bad. Completely defeated.
Yeah. And I think that's more people above him. I think the people that they were obviously looking at, and I think I said this on one of the pods, I think the people that they wanted to give the job to didn't want to touch that team this season. Because if they went down, they were the manager that relegated a team that's never been relegated.
Yeah.
And in a way, the risk and reward, we all know what Scottish football can do because, part of the pressure that Jimmy got put under was because of the bad run of last season as well. Because media will say, well, they've only won 1 game in fucking 36 or whatever it was. But half of those games were the season before. So if you come in and you don't start well, that's what you're getting in the first 5 games of the next season. So I don't blame these managers for not taking it. But the club should have done way more.
In my opinion there, though, that if you pick a candidate and he says, no, I don't want to come now, well, then he wasn't the right choice.
Yeah, agreed.
There is player managers even out there at all times.
Yeah.
You will find somebody if you look hard enough.
Yeah.
We were too quick to settle on, we want Hornland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Schwartz or whoever the fuck it was.
Yeah. So we'll leave part 3. Aberdeen aren't just struggling for results, they're struggling for identity, confidence, just everything that you need to do anything. A few months earlier, the club were talking about building on a Scottish Cup win on European football. They're now searching for another manager. The fans are angry, confidence is on the floor, and nobody really knows what is going to happen next. So join us next time for part 4 of the season review.
Thank you for listening, and please like and subscribe. Please also look out for Sheepfiddler ASC on TikTok, Twitter and Instagram.